And for tonight at 6, a story you will only see on ABC 15 about a new FBI alert warning law enforcement about a legal loophole in gun sales.
If they have a visa, all they need is their ID, the hunting license, then they could come into a gun shop, they'd fill out the exact same form everyone else would, they'd undergo the exact same background check, but the FBI is worried that people who might become radicalized might use this legal loophole to take advantage of the situation and plot an attack.
Brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally. Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for?
Now, Don Lemon from his NGO funders is given talking points. And I told you ahead of the No Kings, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, New World Order, Soros event this Saturday and this weekend, that they are turning up the heat absolutely massively.
No Kings, a declaration of independence against the tyranny, against lawlessness in the context that there was no rule of law. It was the rule of king. And I think increasingly people are waking up to the rule of law in this country, increasingly appearing to be the rule of Don.
Now, obviously, you have record levels of Hispanics and blacks voting for Republicans. They're not buying it.
This is what we're
You have a
talking
country
about.
that is falling apart. We had a housing crisis, a healthcare crisis, an education crisis, massive income and wealth inequality, a corrupt campaign finance system, and the media says, "Oh, you're going to run. What are you going to run for?" Nobody cares. So run what you want.
Nobody cares.
We have so many people here also that were fleeing dictatorships, socialism, etc. Myself, I mean, I came from Cuba when I was 6, fleeing communism, and you had a candidate that was to the left of Bernie Sanders, who is a self-proclaimed socialist. And so a lot of different factors, but a lot of them have to do, you know, the same factors, the economy, what's happening at the border, gas prices, our standing in the world, all of that. You know, Hispanic voters are going to be pretty much aligned with the rest of America.
But that doesn't mean the Democrats aren't trying to implement this. They've launched it. They fired the torpedoes. So they have implemented the Podesta plan. Everything else was a beta test, the Summer of Love 2020, all that.
But the No Kings protests are organized also by a group called Indivisible, which is founded by Ezra Levin and Leah Greenberg. They both authored a 23-page Google Doc called Practical Guide for Resisting the Trump Agenda. Some people online have claimed that they're communists, and you'll never guess who donated. And I know they mention him, but $7,600,000 to that group is George Soros.
Are you happy about the ceasefire?
Honestly, I like protesting, so not really.
So why don't you protest for the Christians in Nigeria?
Oh, how much are they paying?
You can find upcoming meetings held by your representatives near you at indivisible.org. Join local resistance groups or organize one yourself. Start with groups related to issues that have motivated you to protest and follow up with organizers after the events to see how you can continue to support the efforts. This helps build solidarity.
And if you're at a black college, you better watch out because they're getting ready to false flag you.
I hope that Trump is serious enough to see this through and follow through, because the next thing that's going to happen, mark my words, an ICE agent is going to get shot and killed. There's going to be an explosion. There's going to be left-wing terrorism.
Well, they're already shooting up their vans and killing the illegals inside instead of the agents. They're already trying to kill agents.
Yes, and my point is, because you're right, it's happening. They're attacking the vehicles. The sniper shot at them. They're going to succeed. Somewhere out there's a left-wing nut job that saw Crooks and Tyler Robinson, and they're planning the next anti-Republican, anti-ICE attack. And then it's going to be on Trump. What are you going to do? Are you going to bring down the effing hammer on Antifa? Are you going to bring down the hammer on the Democrats? But it's going to come down to the men with guns, the men with the guns and the badges. Who are they personally loyal to? What is their interpretation? Who do they believe actually wields the real authority? That's the definition of a constitutional crisis. It's a definition of a political crisis. I don't think people realize the peril we're in, least of all the Democrats who keep pushing.
A month ago, 95% of the pieces were in. Now, there's one piece left, and it's false flags. That's it. And I said they're going to start hyping attacks on traditional black colleges. I said it 6 months ago, and a month ago they evacuated it when Charlie Kirk got killed and claimed his supporters were going to go blow it up. And they evacuated him nationwide. And of course, later they learned it was a false flag.
keep your mouth shut.
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up. You voted.
You can extend it right
a
now.
Permanent extension of massive tax breaks. Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction,
Is that right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That would have been a massive tax increase on Americans.
Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic Party, and the rest of the deep state want you and I to shut up. We're not going to shut up. That's why on top of the giant sale we've got going, Veterans of the InfoWar right now, you get an additional 10% off at checkout at thealexshowstore.com with promo code Hakeem. Because no, Hakeem, we're not going to shut up. And when Americans and others back InfoWars and this operation and what we're doing, they are literally defending the tip of the spear. This is the media operation the globalists and the left hate the most. We can't do this without your support. So please help keep us on the air and really say no to Hakeem Jeffries and the rest of these people by going to thealexshowstore.com for the best supplements, wide selection of Patriot apparel and gear. Promo code Hakeem to get 10% off right now.